So now it's just cutting with the rotary module. As you can see, we're cutting not at a very slow speed, we're just having it run through. These designs are typically very simple. These are very long rectangles or rectangles with cut corners. So if we go through here, it's cutting, it's cutting. What I want to show you is when we're going to feed again, you will notice that at the rear, that material will lay flat. It's very important to realize that this is one of the most difficult things for textiles, is feeding the textile. If you have a system that puts too much stress on your material, you will get a lot of deformation. If you have not enough stress on your material, it will not lay flat. So this is very important for the application, is to have a very good feeding. Now, the HDRS is good for this type of material. As you can see how nice that looked. The HDRS is designed for these kinds of materials, not for highly stretchable materials. So this SEG material, this polyester material, has a very light stretch, let's say, stretch factor. It stretches about, let's say, around 3%, 4%, 5%, something along those lines. If you go to, for instance, materials that contain lycra, then this will put too much stress on the material and will actually deform your material a lot, and you can't do a fixed size if it's too much deformed. So let's go through here. So it's just picking up where it left off, and it's cutting again, and it will just continue until the complete job is finished. So I can easily take out my segment here and already go to the person that is doing the sewing. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a volunteer, so we had to do this up front. That's why we have that display over there. Now, if you look at flags, it is a similar kind of material. The design will be slightly different, but it's going to be straight as well, so ideal for flags too. So this is soft signage, very close to our, let's say, to our industry. If you talk about textile, look at how nice that feeds. No wrinkle, no nothing, no whatsoever. If you look at the industry we are in, soft signage is part of our DNA. If we look at, let's say, alternative textile industries, one that comes to mind is upholstery. Upholstery is done a lot. It is still a very active industry, and what we noticed is that in this industry we have several F-series units at different companies cutting materials for upholstery. Now, what you'll notice in this industry is that all these materials will be pre-printed and not necessarily with registration marks. What you will see, these are, let's say, patterns that are made, or it's just a plain color that is going to be used. Why am I talking about upholstery? Well, in the previous webinar, we had Generate, Yanni, tell us about his experiences with the F-Series. We've looked at textile applications, and we found let's say, a customer not that far from here in the Netherlands, who is basically doing upholstery, and he has one of our machines. So if we start the video, you will see the company is called Calypso, and they are professional upholsterers. So they do the complete range of project-based, let's say, project-based upholstery, as they do it for, let's say, standardized designs. One of their specialties is yachts. complete projects that they do. Here you can see a nice view of the F-series cutting. That was a very quick view, but we slowed it down. So here you can see the F-series equipped with a rotary module as well. So cutting the textile. This type of textile is probably a cotton-based material, not printed using dye-sub, but just cotton-based using acidic inks. And they use this machine for all their pre-cut designs. So if they want to upholster a chair, they do this on their F-series. So no longer it's hand and scissors anymore. So any questions that we still have will be answered. You can even use the form on our website to pose any questions. You know, I have the same thing. I look at something and then 20 minutes, half an hour, a day later, I have another question. So you can use the form. You can even use the, let's say, the comment section below to pose any questions, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Now, before we finish this webinar, I'd like to thank Caldera for helping us with the video, with helping us setting up this workflow, because without companies like Caldera or SAI, we would not be able to make a nice workflow, and it would be a lot more difficult for the operators and end users to run. Caldera will have a webinar of their own next week, same day. So within a week, you can register for the webinar below. So in the description, you will see a link. Click on it, register, and follow that webinar. They will talk about Caldera specifically. So there you can see what Caldera can do for you. And then, yeah, I would like to thank Olivier for, again, helping me look this good on screen. And to have a nice, decent flow of the webinar. And before we leave, I bid you all stay safe and tune in next time, because who knows what we're going to show next time. So bye everybody, see you next time.